You're listening to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Welcome back to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA. I'm your host, Brian Beatty, and we're now going to switch gears. We're going to talk about, what happens if you're selling your house and it just sits and sits and sits, and maybe you're getting some showings, maybe you're not getting showings, you haven't gotten any offers. Maybe the offers you're getting are just not anywhere close to what you need in order to sell your house. And you're scratching your head and you're wondering, what's the problem here? Is it marketing? Is it price? Is it condition? Is my agent not doing their job? Is now the right time to sell? What's going on? You kind of feel like it's just not going to happen for you. Maybe you're one of those sellers that's convincing themselves that, hey, we didn't sell before school started back. And so now we just don't have a shot. We've missed our window of opportunity. Well, first of all, let me just tell you that is not true. That is incorrect. There are plenty of people that move on a daily basis that stay in the same school district. There are plenty of people that move because they don't really have an option. They're relocating for a job to or from Charleston. They're an opportunistic mover, meaning they would move if the right house presented itself. Not everybody is moving strictly to get their kids into a new school system before school starts. So for anybody that's staying in the same general area, it doesn't matter when they buy or sell. They're just buying a new house. They're still going to the same school. And then there are plenty of people that say, hey, we don't mind moving from X location to another location because the school system is better there and it's an upgrade anyways. The first thing that I want to talk about is this, and I'm going to be more direct on this show than I would be with a seller if I were sitting down with them because, and I've mentioned this in the past, but over 60% of the listings that we sell on the Brian Beatty team was previously listed by another real estate agent. So we sit down, we kind of perform an autopsy on the situation, we understand what has been done, what has not been done, what the feedback has been from what has been done, and then we, of course, apply our system and our unique approach to selling each individual property because it's not like, hey, we're going to apply our package, our process to this sale, which is a set it and forget it approach, and we'll get you better results. Of course, we have a systematized way of doing things. Any big company does, but it also takes an individual to understand how and why we need to market to other individuals based on your home's location, features, and amenities, because every buyer for every home is going to be a little bit different, okay? So we have a specialized approach to every listing that we sell. It's not just hey, we click all these boxes, the marketing goes and does its thing, and then we just wait and kick up our feet on the desk and hope that the checks roll in. That's not how it works. But here's something that I want to tell you that I would not tell a homeowner directly, but that's kind of the beauty of this show is that I get to be a little more direct. Most people want me to be direct with them because that's just the kind of person I am. You are hiring me. You're hiring my team to protect the health and wealth of your likely biggest asset, which is your house. It's where you have the most equity, you have the most money. And we take that very, very seriously. If there's something that we can recommend to you, or if we see that you're engaging in something that could potentially harm the health and wealth of your money through real estate, then it's our responsibility to tell you that. We don't make decisions for you. We bring things to your attention. That's why we call ourselves consultants for our clients and salesmen to everybody else. You're hiring us to do a job. We believe in getting it done in the best way possible. So the first thing that I want to say, when folks are sitting on the market and it just hasn't sold, and now the property's come off the market, the agreement with their agent has expired, or that agreement has been canceled by either party because it's just not working. And we sit down with them and they say, our agent wasn't doing anything because we just weren't getting any inquiries at all. And, when we first listed the property, we had a few showings and then it dropped off and nothing else happened. An occasional blip on the radar maybe, but it's obvious to us that our agent wasn't doing their job. And sometimes I kind of wish I could say to a seller, and I would never say this because there's an element of respect and professionalism that always has to be taken into account. Plus, these sellers are frustrated. They're tired. they're irritated with the process, and frankly, they're irritated with real estate agents. So the last thing I want to do is paint a target on my back. But here it is. You're not getting showings or interest in your property because people don't want to buy it. And what I mean by that is people don't want to buy your house in that location, in that condition, for that price. If we can all agree that every house in America would sell for $1, then we can tell you that there is a price for everything. Condition and marketing and strategy combined is what helps you get the most money possible for your house. So yes, I agree. The majority of agents out there are not marketing at a high level. And when I say high level, I understand what high level is because we market properties on a high level, and I don't mind for 1 second patting my team on the back for the job that they do to get results for our sellers. And I know that because guess what? I write the checks every month for all the stuff we do to create exposure for our listings, and that's where our money goes, toward creating exposure for our clients so that we get more leads than other buyers. We have processes that respond to those leads quickly, efficiently, intelligently to get those people converted from online shoppers into actual clients and closings for our listings. But the first thing I want to say is that you're not getting any traction, you're not getting any interest because people don't want to buy your house at that price. You are not positioned correctly. So you have to constantly review the market. And as you can see, it's changing. Just look at news right now. Do a Google search for real estate news, real estate shift, real estate market updates. And everybody's giving you a bunch of different spins on what's happening in the real estate market right now. What I need you to understand is that real estate is local. It's hyper-local. We have insulating factors here in Charleston that are different from Columbia and Greenville and Atlanta and all of these other regional markets that are similar to us. We're a little different. Now, don't get me wrong. Those trends from other areas of the country still apply to us because people are coming here at an alarming rate, by the way. And those factors in those markets affect their purchasing power when they move here or when we sell a property and move to those locations. So it is all tied together, but you need to constantly be reviewing the market. Those that position their home to sell in the present are the ones that win. If you guys have been following the market over the course of the past few years, I think you would agree that in some areas of our market, the wave is starting to crest. Meaning, and it's going to stay there for a while. I don't mean things are going to come crashing down. It's probably a bad analogy, but we've seen a drastic increase in pricing over years and years, about 6 now, 5 or 6. The rate by which properties are going to start declining in value, I'm not so worried about that. But the rate by which properties are appreciating is going to slow down. We're going to see a deceleration in price improvements, in price acceleration, if that makes sense. So that's really what's happening here. And there are a whole bunch of reasons why that's happening. I don't have enough time to talk about the shift in the market, but what you as a seller should expect from your agent is for them to constantly review the market and share that information with you. Each time a new listing hits the market, each time a listing within your market that is considered competition goes under contract, every time something sells, every time something comes off the market, every time there's a price change, you and your agent should be having a conversation. Because guess what? If you list your house and the agent says, hey, we're the only ones that are on the market, let's go ahead and push that envelope down the table as far as we can, and let's ask this much for your house. Knowing that you're overpriced, but you're trying to take advantage of the dynamics of the market. And I don't blame you for that. And it's worked. However, 2 other listings come on the market, one the week after and one the week after that. And they're better priced. And your agent hasn't let you know that. Guess what? Now you're just a straight up overpriced listing. No wonder you're not going to get the same level of traffic. But if you're not having those conversations with your agent, if you don't even know that those properties exist, you're operating with incorrect information. And that is going to have an impact on your ability to sell your house, whether you know it or not, whether your agent knows it or not. So it's incredibly important to monitor the market on a consistent basis because markets shift. If we have a bunch of properties that are on the market, let's say you're on the market and there are 3 other homes that are on the market at the same time, and 2 out of the 4 drop their price, the other home is way overpriced, and then there's you. Let's say you're number 3 out of 4 in terms of attractiveness from a pricing standpoint, and there are and homes are selling once every 120 days in your market. You're probably going to end up waiting a while for the right buyer that's willing to pay more for a similar property when there are 2 others that are priced better that are very similar. You just need to be having these conversations with your agents. And what I find, the number one issue that I find with these types of situations where an agent has listed a property, didn't sell it, that property's come off the market, and now the seller is trying to figure out what to do. The number one reason why properties do not sell is lack of communication. Plain and simple. Lack of communication. We can talk about everything else, marketing, condition, pricing. Are they the type of agent that shows up and runs their business like a business from 8 to 5? Are they the kind of agent that is constantly on the boat and works as needed? Both can sell real estate. Don't get me wrong. That's one of the beauties of our industry, freedom. But the number of homes that you sell on an annual basis and the number of money you make is going to be tied to how you run your business. Don't get me wrong. I'd certainly like to be on the boat some days, but you'll find me in the office because I believe in being professional and doing what I need to do to support my family and my agents. So the question you need to ask yourself is, if you're in this position right now, if you have tried selling your home and it hasn't worked, what is your agent doing? Are they having those conversations with you? Is it something that they can control or not? Is it something that you have control over and your agent has told you this information and you've just chosen not to act on it? There's a bunch of different variables here, but if the communication is lacking, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble because you don't know what you don't know. You're not being informed on a consistent basis. That's why I have a communication guarantee. It's in writing. It's part of my listing agreement. And it very simply states that when you hire my team to sell your house, we will be in touch with you at least once per week from the time we list until the time we sell. And if we don't, you can fire us. No questions asked. That's our commitment. That's our guarantee. You're not going to hire us and then not hear from us because we want to sell your house. It's like one of my favorite sayings. The best relationship with an agent is a short one. We want you to get in, get out, get moved, make a lot of money, have it be a fantastic process, and say, you know what? You're at dinner with your friends and you hear one of them talking about, their interest in moving, and you say, you have to call the Brian Beatty team because they did such a good job. We'll do such a good job for you that you can't help yourself, but refer us to other people. That's the kind of loyalty that we want from our clients, and in order to get that, we have to give you amazing service. And that's what we do. So if we can help you with that, if you're one of those sellers that's struggling, you're not quite sure where you stand with the market, we're here to help. Our number is 843-345-1273. Again, that's 843-345-1273. Or go to my website, listingsincharleston.com.
More stimulating talk on real estate matters with Brian Beatty next on 1250 WTMA.